Good morning, friends. Welcome to Konexio Technical Insights. I am Rahul Randeria and I will be conducting today's show. Today, we would be discussing regarding the trends, the setups, the technical indicators, the candlestick patterns in Nifty, Bank Nifty, as well as on the different asset classes. Now, first of all, let us discuss what we have mentioned in our last video. In our last video, we have mentioned that the markets were into oversold territory. We might see some sort of technical pullback from those levels, and geopolitics would be dominating the market trend. Market did open on a negative note. It bounced back, and as in when the global news, negative news flows came in, market started sliding from its intermediate swing high, and it ended on a negative note. And as we have said that because of this the global geopolitical event, we might see a huge volatility into the markets, and we had seen Nifty moving in that particular wild manner. It witnessed wild swings into from Monday till Friday. Though last week was a truncated week, so because of that, we have seen the wild swing coming into the Nifty and Bank Nifty, and it was highly difficult to trade with one direction of the markets. So it was a trading market for last week. Now looking at the current setup on the Nifty daily charts, I will show you, and then we'll try to discuss how market will pan out for the next week. Now let us go to the Nifty daily charts. This is the Nifty daily charts, and you can see Nifty on Monday it went up, and then it started sliding lower. It ended on a negative note. RSI still is with negative bias, but let us see what pattern has been formed on the Nifty daily charts. So on the daily charts, we can see that this was the slightly tilted parallel channel which we have been mentioning since last many weeks, and you can clearly see that Nifty has managed to take a support around those particular levels. This was the channel which we have been mentioning in our previous videos, and we still managed to the market still managed to take support around those particular support trend line. You can see this support, then this was the support. It bounced back again. It has come to that particular support, and now what is the most probable thing which might happen in the next week? Now next week it is a big event from Monday onwards. Monday evening onwards. We will see the exit polls of the elections of the 5 states in India. So market might be waiting for that particular results, and market might behave in that particular in that manner. It is going to be an uncertain event. Markets would be waiting for a decisive mandate where that election results are going to take place. So on 10th of March, it's going to be the result of the elections, and on 7th and 8th or 17th or 9th, it is going to be exit polls. Again, the geopolitical news is also hovering about the markets, about the global markets. So again, global markets might behave in that wild manner. It might, or we might see wild swings coming into the markets on upside and downside on both the sides. So again, it is going to be very difficult for traders to trade. So it is going to be a traders market. I'm not saying that you should trade on one direction. Markets or traders might get trading opportunities on both the sides, on long and on the short. But looking at this particular daily candle, we feel that any further correction, because on Friday Dow Jones had ended on a negative note, so maybe on Monday we might see a negative opening on the Nifty, but that negative opening should be used as a buying opportunity, and from there we might see a technical pullback. So traders need to trade in that particular manner. Traders will get opportunity on both the sides, on the long side also, and on the short side also. So we are not recommending to trade a directional or take a directional call, but we will say buy on dips. But again, when there is a pullback, when markets goes towards the resistance area, again book profits, go short, again wait for some pullback, book profits, again buy at the lower levels, and buy and trade in that particular manner. So now let us see what are the important supports and resistance for the for the Nifty for the next week. The important support in the Nifty for the next week are placed at, the first support in the Nifty is placed at 16,133. Second support is placed at the psychological mark, which is 16,000, and third support is placed at 15,899. Now this 15,900 mark was previous multiple resistance area, and for 2 months, 2.5 months, 15,900 was not breached decisively. Nifty took multiple efforts to break those levels, but it took almost 2 months to break 15,900, a decisive breakout, and from there we have seen the rally, Nifty going towards the levels of 18,600. So now 15,900 could become a stiff, I mean to say a very strong support at the lower levels. So definitely at lower levels, we might see buying coming in, and smart trader would come to defend 15,900. So as I said, any dips should be used as a buying opportunity in Nifty, but again, it is going to be a trader's market. Now let us discuss the important resistance in the Nifty. The important resistance in the Nifty are placed at 16,456. Second resistance is placed at 16,678, and third resistance is placed at 16,843. Now let us discuss what we have seen in Bank Nifty. Now let us see the Bank Nifty charts. Now this is the Bank Nifty daily charts. Now if you see, or if you try to combine the Nifty daily chart, Bank Nifty daily chart, you will see Bank Nifty has just tested the level of multiple supports, and let me draw this particular horizontal line. You can see this was resistance, multiple time it took the resistance. Now then after that it has become a support, then again second support, then again third support, then fourth support, and this is the fifth time Bank Nifty has come to this particular support line. Now let me draw again a parallel channel, which is a falling channel of last 3 to 4 weeks. Now this is the small parallel channel. Now here you can clearly see this is the horizontal line. Previous resistance has become multiple support. Now this is the falling channel line. If Bank Nifty has taken a support around this horizontal line, and also it is taking support around the downward sloping channel support line. So as I said, in Bank Nifty also, though the RSI is showing are showing negative signals, but looking at this support trend line, we feel that any further correction from these levels, maybe a 300 per point correction from the current level, so maybe 34,100 to 34,000 could act as a major support in Bank Nifty, and that should be area to buy or go long in Bank Nifty from those levels, because we are expecting a bounce back, because we can clearly see since last 1.5 month Bank Nifty has been sliding from the levels of 39,400 till 34, almost 34,400. So on the lower degree charts, it is into a oversold territory. Any further correction should be used as a buying opportunity, but as I said, one should not take a one side directional call. Bank Nifty will also give both sides to trade. So first of all, buy on dips, wait for the rally, maybe 1% rally, try to book profits at the higher levels, wait for Bank Nifty to take resistance, again go short, wait for some pullback, try to book profits at the lower levels. And as I said, it is going to be a major event for the next week. The state elections result from 7th and 8th, it is going to be exit polls. Again, geopolitics is dominating the global market trend. So again, the trend is uncertain. Yes, markets are into selling pressure at higher levels, but looking at this wholesale setup, one should wait for dip, buy at the lower levels, and try to trade for the pullback rally from those lower levels. Now let us discuss the important supports and resistance in Bank Nifty. The important supports in the Bank Nifty are placed at 33,908 is the first support. Second support is placed at 33,697. Third support is placed at 33,297. Whereas on the upside, the first resistance in the Bank Nifty is placed at 35,097. Second resistance is at 35,650, and third resistance is at 35,938. So these are the crucial supports and resistance level in Nifty and Bank Nifty. Looking at to the charts, looking at to the setups, we feel that any dips should be used as a buying opportunity. But again, I would like to say one should not take a one-side directional call. Traders should try to trade on both the sides. Buy on supports. Simple strategy should be used. Buy on support and sell on resistance. So now let us come to the third segment of our show, which is option analysis. We will try to identify, where the smart money has taken positions, where is the concentration of the open interest into Nifty calls, Nifty puts, Bank Nifty calls, and Bank Nifty puts. So first of all, let us see what we have observed in Nifty calls. You will see on the screen. Then the most of the action was seen in 16,300 calls, then 16,400 calls, then 16,500 calls, then 16,700 out of the money calls. Now here you can clearly see there has been the rise in the open interest, but there has been a significant fall in the option premiums. The implied volatility are also on the higher side. It is just between 25.80 till 27.27. So again, as I said, last 2 days we have seen a sharp fall in the markets. Because of that, we have seen the smart money has done option writings. I mean to say out of the money call options. So on the upside, we feel that 16,700 could act as a major resistance area on the upside. So now let us see what we have observed in Nifty puts. In Nifty puts, you will see on the screen that the action was seen in 16,200 puts, the 16,100 puts, the 16,000 puts, and 15,900 puts. Here you can see the open interest is rising. Again, the option premium are also rising. The implied volatility is also on the higher side. So you can see the implied volatility is between 30.8 to 33.11. So more the volatility into the markets, the options, the concentration of the options keep on changing depending upon the markets moving. I mean to say the Nifty moving, Nifty breaching the levels. So now we will try to figure out what are the probabilities of market to behave in the next week. So looking at Nifty put action, we might see further cool off or further selling pressure in Nifty. But on the downside, we feel that 16,000, which is the psychological mark, could act as a strong support on the downside. So maybe between 16,100 to 16,000, we might see Nifty taking support, and from there we might see again Nifty bouncing back from the lower side. So looking at the calls and puts in Nifty, we feel that fall or further cool off cannot be ruled out. But similarly, on the downside, we might see support coming in at the lower levels. So now let us try to identify what we have observed in Bank Nifty calls. In Bank Nifty calls, the action was seen in 36,000 calls. 35,000 calls, then 35,500 calls, then 36,000 calls. But as I said, that the prices are dropping, the open interest is rising, implied volatility is also on the higher side. So again, a further cool off cannot be ruled out. So as I said, maybe 34,100 to 34,000 cannot be ruled out on the downside, because strong call writing has been seen in this out of the money calls. So further cool off cannot be ruled out. But as I said, on the downside, 34,000 could act as a support area, and on the upside, looking at this particular pattern, we feel that 36,000 could act as a major resistance for the next week. So now let us discuss what we have observed in Bank Nifty puts. In Bank Nifty puts, you can see that action was seen in 34,000 puts, and 33,500 puts, and 33,000 puts. Now here you can see there has been rise in the open interest. Again, there has been rise in the option premium. The implied volatility had exploded. I would like to use the word exploded because implied volatility in Bank Nifty puts are 40.58 to 43.45. So again, as I said, when such high implied volatility is seen, there are chances that profit booking might come. So as I said, a further cool off cannot be ruled out in Bank Nifty also. And when implied volatility rises further from these levels, we might see profit booking coming in Bank Nifty puts. And when there is a profit booking seen in Bank Nifty puts, Bank Nifty will start to rise from the or will start bouncing back from the lower levels. So as I said, 34,000 would act as an important support for the next week, and from there we might see a bounce back coming in into Bank Nifty. So overall, looking at the chart patterns, I mean to say Nifty, Bank Nifty, and option analysis, the strategy would be buy on dips. Do not try to play a directional call, a directional trade. Try to play on both the sides, or the simple strategy should be buy on supports and sell on resistance. This should be the strategy for the next week. Now let us come to the final segment of our show, which is the positional call. In positional call, I have identified one stock. The name of the stock is Mahanagar Gas. I will show you the daily charts of Mahanagar Gas. So these are the multiple support area. This was the first support. After breakout, it came down. Again from there, it had rallied. Then these were multiple support area. This was the second support, and now third time the stock has tried and to come and test after 2 years. This was the support tested in 2020. Now again at those levels, the stock has come to test those levels. The stock has fallen from 1280 till 680. So almost the stock has halved or corrected 50% of it. Given up is 50% of it gains, and from these levels of the multiple levels, the RSI is showing some sort of strength on the daily charts. So we might see a technical pullback or a dead cat bounce from these levels. The current market price of the stock is 716. Long-term investors can accumulate the stock on dips to 700. Our upside potential target is just around 900 to 950, 915, which is the 38% of this particular retracement of this particular fall. So the stock is into a deep oversold territory. It is an investment buy. Long-term investors can accumulate the stock on dips to 700 for an upside rally of between 900 to 915. The target of 900 and 915 is almost the 38% retracement of the fall from 1280 to 680. We are expecting Mahanagar Gas to bounce from these levels. I'm not saying that it will bounce for tomorrow itself or from Monday itself. It will make some base bottom, but this is the right time to accumulate the stock for a long term, and we might see a pullback till the level of 900 to 915 in next 10 to 12 months. So this is the stock for investment. I hope you enjoyed the show. Any suggestion you can give into the comment box, and have a nice trading week. Thank you.